We are looking at sentences to understand underlying patterns. These underlying patterns of language help us understand how language functions with respect to human mind. Human mind decodes set of principles that help us understand these underlying patterns, and thus we are able to speak language. We have seen several examples of these underlying patterns so far at the levels of sounds, words, and sentences. In order to continue looking at sentences to see few more underlying patterns, today we are looking at binding. We have looked at referential expressions. We have looked at elements which are dependent on interpretations, and these interpretation works at a different level of representation in human mind. The level of representation in the human mind where these interpretations take place is the same level where we have seen displacement taking place, that is deep structure. Let's look at how binding works for giving us interpretations. So, we have seen three elements like anaphors, pronouns, and referential expressions. We have looked at these things in details, that anaphors are elements like himself, herself, myself, ourselves. Pronouns are elements like he, she, I, us, we. Our expressions are noun phrases like John, the student of physics, etc. We have seen that there are three principles which take care of these three types of elements in natural language, and each of these principles, like principle A, principle B, and principle C, are taking care of anaphors, pronouns, and our expressions. Principle A takes care of anaphors, principle B takes care of pronouns, and principle C takes care of referential expressions. We are going to look at how these things work. We have seen what we mean by anaphors. Like anaphors need a co-indexed antecedent within the sentence. That is, anaphors do not depend on their interpretation outside the context of sentences. Pronouns may find its interpretation within the sentence, however, at times they have to find their interpretations outside the sentence as well. However, our expressions always find their interpretations in the real world, that is outside the domain of the sentence. With these, we looked at the problems like when we have sentences like John saw himself, the sentence is good because anaphor himself finds John as an antecedent within the domain of the sentence, and therefore this is fine. But John saw him is not good when the two elements him and saw depend, him as a pronoun depends on John for its interpretations. Whereas we have seen that a pronoun can find an interpretation within the sentenceal domain as well. However, we see John thinks that Mary likes him is good, but John thinks that Mary likes himself is not good. So, we want to understand why are these ungrammaticalities possible in these sentences where we want to say that binding theory has answer to these questions. Binding theory tells us when we use anaphors, pronouns and our expressions. We have seen the notion of C command for the purpose of interpretation of elements in the phrase structure. To talk about the notion of C command, once again what we are actually saying is, if we have an xp and we have x, then in such a configuration we are trying to say that x C commands this one. At the same time we are saying this spec C commands this one too. We do not want to take you into details of debate around the notion of C command, because we are not looking at the theory per se. We are trying to understand the phenomena of interpretation of certain elements to look at underlying patterns. However, this should be clear for you to understand what we actually mean by C command. What the simple notion involved in C command is if this is B, then B, and we are saying if this is A and this is B, then what we are saying is A C commands B when the same branching node dominates both. In this simpler definition of C command, we can say this C commands this one because the same branching node dominating spec, that is xp, dominates this one as well. Alright. So, under this notion of C command, we are saying the structure on the screen, structure number 1 is grammatical because John, the antecedent of the anaphor himself, C commands the anaphor, therefore it is a grammatical sentence. However, John in the second example, in the second structure, does not C command anaphor himself, therefore this sentence is ungrammatical. So, what we say for binding condition is when an NPC commands the anaphor and it is co-indexed with it, then NP is said to bind the anaphor. In such a situation, we see that NP John in a structure 1 on the screen is co-indexed with NP himself, which is an anaphor, and it C commands as well. Therefore, this structure is grammatical. However, even though NP John is co-indexed with the NP himself in a structure 2, because NP John does not C command the NP anaphor himself, therefore structure 2 is ungrammatical. So, there are two conditions for binding, and we are looking at these two conditions in terms of structure, in terms of phrase structure of these sentences, and how elements are represented at this level of representation in human mind. To say these two conditions with the help of a structure, for the purpose of interpretation of the element himself, we will say there are two conditions. One is C command and the other is co-indexing. So, we can only say that A binds B if and only if A C commands B and A is co-indexed with B. it's the same thing that we have said before, that for this NP, for this position, this position C commands this position, and if the NP here is also co-indexed with this NP, then this defines binding condition, and that helps us explain grammaticality and ungrammaticality of structures where we do not see, where in a grammatical structure we see interpretation of anaphors taking place, and the interpretation of anaphor does not properly take place in the ungrammatical structure. The principle A that particularly deals with anaphor says an anaphor must be bound. That is, if there is an anaphor in a sentence like himself, that anaphor must be bound, meaning that anaphor must have a co-indexed antecedent in a sentence, and that antecedent must also C command the anaphor. If this takes place, if this happens, then the structure results into grammaticality. However, if this does not, then the structure results into ungrammaticality, and thus we can see the differences between structure 1 and structure 2 on the screen. Now you see why these sentences are ungrammatical and whether or not principle A can explain these ungrammatical sentences. Himself saw John in the mirror. This sentence is ungrammatical because himself as an anaphor has a co-indexing antecedent, has a co-indexing NP in the sentence, but the NP does not seem to be, C commanding the anaphor himself. Similarly, the anaphor herself may have a co-indexed element in the sentence, second sentence, herself likes Mary's father, but the sentence is ungrammatical because the antecedent does not C command the anaphor. Number 3, himself likes Mary's father is also ungrammatical because of this, the C commanding. So, nothing C commands and is co-indexed with himself and herself, the anaphors are not bound. So, all we are saying, in order to explain the ungrammaticality of 3 sentences on the screen, is in these cases anaphors are not bound because they are not meeting the requirement of being C commanded by their antecedents. Therefore, these sentences are ungrammatical. How do we know about the binding domain? So, now we have said that anaphor must be bound in order for anaphor to appear in a sentence and for the sentence to result in ungrammaticality. How do we know the anaphor is bound? And for that we have seen 2 conditions, but now we need to see, can these 2 conditions apply too far away from one another? Now look at these 2 sentences on your screen now. John said that himself likes pizza. This sentence is ungrammatical, and John said that Mary called himself. This sentence is ungrammatical too. Now given the 2 conditions that we have seen so far, that anaphors must have a co-indexed antecedent, this condition is fulfilled in both the sentences, that anaphors have their co-indexed antecedent John in both the sentences, and the antecedent must C command the anaphor. In both the sentences, antecedents C command anaphors. Then there must be something more than the constraint on binding in terms of those two conditions why these two sentences are ungrammatical. What would explain ungrammaticality of these sentences is the NP John C commands and is co-indexed with himself satisfying principle A. Therefore, we can say that in both these sentences anaphors are bound and the co-indexed NPs binds himself. Again, what explains this thing? So, what is the difference between sentence 1 and 2 on one side and sentence 3 and 4 on the other? So, John saw himself in the mirror is grammatical. John gave a book to himself is also grammatical. But John said that himself is a genius and John said that Mary dislikes himself are ungrammatical. So, one of the differences apparent that in the ungrammatical cases himself is part of the embedded clause. Now, here is what we want to understand as part of understanding these patterns, the notion of embedded clause. So, what we are saying is a sentence like John thinks that Mary likes himself. This is a sentence, but within this sentence, that Mary likes himself is a clause which is embedded. Now, the problem in 3 and 4 and also in the sentences that we have seen before in these two sentences on your screen, that John said that himself likes pizza and John said that Mary called himself. In both these sentences and on this screen in number 3 and number 4, the anapher himself is part of the embedded clause. Therefore, there appears to be some problem in binding and thus ungrammatical. So, we need to put little bit more constraint on this and say that anaphor needs to be bound, but they need to be bound within a local domain. That is, it cannot happen that the antecedent is in main clause and the anaphor is in the embedded clause, because the two antecedent and anaphors do not share same clause, therefore ungrammatical. So, how do we define this constraint in a more precise way? And now we can say about principle A that anaphor must be bound in its binding domain, and the binding domain of an anaphor is the smallest clause containing antecedent and the anaphor itself. So, the two conditions that we have discussed about the antecedent being C commanding the anaphor and both of them being co-indexed, they exist, but one more thing we need to add, which is they must be in this binding domain. Both of them must be in the binding domain, that is, both of them must be part of the same clause. This is an important condition. Now, we want to look at some of the things about pronouns and say John saw him in the mirror is wrong, is ungrammatical, because John and him are co-indexed. John said that he is a genius. Even though they are co-indexed, because they are part of the two different clauses, the sentence is grammatical. John said that Mary dislikes him is perfectly all right. Is a grammatical sentence even after being co-indexed with John, even after the pronoun him being co-indexed with John, because these two, that is the John and him, are part of two different clauses. And John saw him in the mirror. In this case, you see, the sentence is okay even though they are part of the same clause, that is John and him are part of the same clause, but they are not co-indexed. Here him refers to someone else out there in the world. Therefore, these sentences are grammatical. So, what do we see as part of the story here? We are saying for the distribution of pronouns, there appears to be a different set of rules applying, and that rule is very simple, which is completely opposite of pronouns, and it says that the pronouns must be free in its binding domain. That is, if the pronoun is finding a co-indexed antecedent within the same local domain, then the sentence is going to be ungrammatical. And if the pronoun is not within the same domain, if they are not co-indexed, then that is all right. Therefore, we can say this condition and constraint of principle B in a simple sentence, that pronouns must be free in the same domain. For elements like our expressions, we need to say something else, and what happens is, look at the three sentences that you have on your screen. He likes John. The sentence is ungrammatical because he and John are co-indexed. She said that Mary fears clowns. She and Mary, because the two things are co-indexed, this sentence is grammatical. His mother likes John is okay because they are not co-indexed. Now, what we can say about our expressions is, our expressions must be free everywhere. Therefore, when we wanted to summarize the three principles which take care of three different types of elements in natural language for their interpretations, we can say an anaphor must be bound in the local domain, a pronoun must be free in the local domain, and our expression must be free everywhere. And where the local domain, by local domain or binding domain, we mean that the smallest domain, that is the IP itself. Thank you.